Those are shoes of doom!
Scary. This is gonna be good.
I love this part.
Pixar blew our minds back in 2015 when they released Inside Out, which is undoubtedly one of the best movies the studio has brought to us to date. A psychological masterpiece that takes a deep, deep dive into the complex mechanisms behind human emotions and the difficult process of growing up and facing the unwanted changes of life. This movie was so good that it left us wanting more of its complex view to be developed and extended. There was more and more things we would like to see in the second installment, and today we'll be discussing them and telling you why we think Inside Out 2 will be different. Let's begin.
All right, what are we watching?
Inside Out might be presented as a fantastic story about the view of the insides of the human mind, but it is very much grounded in a real-life story. Pixar's creative developer and director Pete Docter had the idea for the movie when he started facing similar problems at home. His daughter Allie was nearing adolescence, and the sweet and outgoing character she had all her childhood began to progress towards introversion and uneasiness. Docter suffered a real period of stress and anxiety as the byproduct of his daughter's growth and estrangement, and wanted to reflect on this thought and the creation of the movie about emotions. In the beginning of the creative process, the team was near focused on fear as the driving force of the mind in his stage of life. But one day, he took a walk in the forest. Docter realized that it wasn't fear who was behind the wheel in such a moment of change and complexity. It was sadness. That's where the movie we all came to know and love took its final form and began Inside Out, through a true exploration of actual emotions being felt and processed by real people. And we can say that the movie was as complex and deep as anyone could expect, sure, but it really left us wanting more.
Oh, okay, I have an idea.
So, if they're ever making a sequel, we need to have seen the original team on board. That's the only way Inside Out 2 could be both different and entertaining. So, Pete Docter in the writer-director chair and Ronnie as the co-director is a must-have. We could also have Michael behind the music once again because his work on Inside Out's music was impeccable. And of course, it's not only about the creative team. We also need to count with the fantastic array of stars that gave life to all of the characters with their voices. Park and Recreation star Amy in the role of hyperactive Joy, The Office's Phyllis Smith voicing sadness as only she could do it, and of course Mindy, Bill, and Lewis as disgust, fear, and anger, respectively. Given that we could be seeing an older version of Riley, Caitlin could also be or not be part of the sequel as Riley's voice.
It's okay. We get it.
You're the best. Thanks, hon. See you, sweetie.
One possible plot for a sequel might have been in front of our eyes the whole time. See, it's pretty obvious that joy is the only emotion in charge of Riley's head, and then sadness takes over the will, of course. But that's not the case for everybody else. We get to see the inside of Riley's parents, and things work very differently in there. So different, in fact, that we could worry a bit about their mental well-being. In Mom's head, sadness is the one in charge, and in Dad's head, anger is the one running the show. We don't have too much information regarding these two, but we definitely have some clues. Does the fact that Mom is always disassociating and remember the sexy Brazilian helicopter pilot from her youth tell us that she isn't happy in her other relationship with Dad? Moreover, sadness is in charge with her mind full time, and this cannot be good for her. On the other hand, Dad is emotionally absent, too busy in his own head to really listen to Riley and his wife's problems, as anger is in charge with him. He can only react with anger instead of involving in a deeper way. This is a bit darker than you expect for a Pixar family environment, but it could be the starting point for a good sequel in which Pixar could dare to go to the more adult territory while keeping things funny for kids and deal with the complexities of the adult mind.
Hey, I saw a pizza place down the street. Maybe we could try that.
Pizza sounds delicious.
We have another possible plotline for Inside Out 2, and this one is even more probable since they practically teased us with it. There's a moment by the end of Inside Out when we see a dreaded button called puberty. That seems dangerous and ready to wreak havoc once again in Riley's mind. Just imagine all the changes at every level if we get to see Riley going through that phase. You can imagine the sequel as Turning Red's take on female puberty and a girl's first period on steroids, with lots of internal emotional drama translated into specific dynamics of the emotions. The myriad of physical, emotional, and psychological changes in Riley could be shown in parallel with the situation of absolute chaos in their mind as new emotions try to take over and replace the existing ones in their jobs. That could even be a way to link things with their previous idea about the other people's minds and explain how people grow up to be so different to the way they were as kids. But is there really a chance to see Inside Out 2, or are we just fantasizing about some helicopter pilot? Let's see.
You know what I realized? Riley hasn't had lunch.
As always is the case with these talks about sequels, we need to crunch these numbers to see if our hopes for a second installment are well-founded, or well-funded in this case. Looking back at the numbers from 2015's Inside Out, we see nothing but good news. The movie earned approximately $357 million only in the United States and Canada. And if we see how it received around the world, things just got better since it grossed $502 million in other countries for a total worldwide of $859 million. According to Wikipedia, Deadline Hollywood calculated the film's net profit as $279.51 million, accounting for production budgets, marketing, talent participation, and other costs. Box office grosses and home media revenues placed it 6th on their list of 2015's most valuable blockbusters. Yeah, that's what we call a good sign. In a world where Illumination's Minions hit the astonishing amount of $1.159 billion, and with these financial background, we can say it's safe to bet and make Inside Out 2. We just need to wait and see if the world has actually recovered from the grim perspectives of the last couple of years.
Important time in Riley's life. Like when she first scored a goal. That was so amazing.
If you wander around the internet, you might end up believing anything they say about a possible sequel for Inside Out. Several wikis and fan pages have spread rumors about Inside Out being released in 2022. Some of them even dared to claim a more precise date and talked about June 2022. But as you can see by the date of this video, those were just the empty rumors. The truth is that since it was released in 2015, there's been no official talks about a sequel for Inside Out, even though audiences were obviously on board with the idea of a sequel. But as we saw earlier in the video, the potential to tell another good story in this universe is there. We just need to wait for Disney and Pixar to get some time in their hands and hope to look back at this masterpiece and decide to give it a proper conclusion. What do you think we'll see in the second Inside Out movie? Do you have any wishful thinking already waiting for the sequel? We hope they can develop some of these interesting sequels we thought about, and that they could deliver a great quality movie that would leave us thinking about and about ourselves for years like the first one. Anyways, that's all for today's video. Check the rest of our channel out for more content about your favorite animated movies, and of course, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and turn your notifications on by hitting that little bell if you want to keep receiving awesome content like this.
What the heck is that?
It's broccoli on pizza.
That's it. I'm done.